get ready for living into the six treasures. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Let there be happiness for all. The mind that is constantly aspiring, not in the morning, afternoon, or evening, 24/7, aspires. What it aspires? Let there be happiness for all. So when you have that aspiration, the six treasures from deep inside your mind reflects in your mind. So the main thing is whether it is a discerning mind or whether it is a default mind. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. When I am seeking peace for everyone, and suddenly the mind, the default mind, enters into the field of awareness and demands, oh no, what you are saying, first peace with yourself. So we develop our ego. Ego is always insecure. So it has to be 24/7. Now see the point here. I am seeking peace for everyone. If I am not in peace, how can I seek peace for everyone? And if I seek peace for everyone, I am in stress. Obviously, that is hypocrisy. Is it possible? Yes. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. I am whole, you are whole. How? One sun reflects in 10 buckets of water. One sun, one real self, one wholeness reflects in all of us individually. So instead, we take it individually, we say it is the whole one, present in everyone. If I aspire like this, I can get rid of the default mind, which is impulsive, which is reactive. Now I'm doing the practice in the morning and then I forget in the afternoon. That is not going to work. I have to transform this default setting of the mind. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. I told you that I always see, I remember, I even think of it sometimes, that I see my master is manifesting in every participant of this session here. So it means, am I teaching the master? No. I am expressing that, did I learn correctly? Did I learn these principles correctly? If you have that attitude, can the word hit you at any point of time? It takes time, it demands a regular practice. What it demands, open your eyes, that is what we have been practicing. What it demands, first is, in traditional language, it is known as Anubandha Chatusaya. Anubandha Chatusaya means fourfold connection. What exactly is the goal of life? End of suffering, peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Because it is the goal of life. Of life means it continues, permanent, eternal. And what are the... So should I leave all the goals in life, my career, job, external relationship? No, that they are the goals in life. They are the goals in life. So who separates it? Discerning mind. How to get the discerning mind? How to get the discerning mind? By satsang. Shravanam, listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, and practice. No, I have done contemplation 10 years ago. That is why you are crazy. The moment you stop the contemplation, the default mind will take over you. What is default mind? Default mind is impulsive, it is instinctive, it is reactive mind. So how to get rid of it? In the beginning, the teacher teaches in satsang how to, that is the second principle, four-fold practices. 90% practice is internal. What is that? Viveka, discernment, dispassion, and then comes the 6 treasures. Oh, but then there is a problem. What is the problem? I experience the stress, suffering, anxiety, reaction in relationship to the world. In relationship to the world. Sometimes people say, I feel lonely. So that is also in relationship to the world. I have lot of expectations and my expectations are not fulfilled because of some situation, relations. That is why I am feeling lonely. That too is in relationship to the world. So we have anxiety, duality, conflict. We have anxiety, duality, conflict because of my internal state of the mind, the way my mind defines that relationship to the world outside. If my definition is correct, the life will be better. So that is the point of karma to karma yoga. I am hit by the world, change karma to karma yoga. That is explained in the 8 steps. So 8 steps prepares us to live into the state of karma yoga all the time. And then what happens? The 6 treasures are always with you. Even in difficult times, yes. Even in difficult times. When I say difficult times, it is also the relationship to the world outside. What is the difficult time? Either you have a relationship problem, you have a financial problem, you have a physical problem. What else? It all pertains to the world outside. I am awakening to the 6 treasures inside. This understanding, intellectual understanding, comes very fast. But living experience can come by the 8 steps. 8 steps that by what we normally do with that. We change the mindset. We bring the mind nearer to the real self. You see, how does one relate to the suffering? All suffering is related to the world outside, which is described as a field of action. Suffering arises from actions, but the mind can be purified through the karma yoga to avoid this suffering. Karma yoga. You are learning, you are sleeping in a session, you are lazy in a session. So my mind feels, my master is feeling lazy, he is not interested today in listening and learning. It's okay, it's a part of it. Let me continue my journey. Let me fulfill my duty. So karma to karma yoga, that you learn if you follow the first 8 steps. Study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. Second, you have to perform your duty. You have to do all your actions as a duty, not avoiding. But when you perform your action as a duty, you recognize that you are not a doer. It is the existence which is a doer. And then what happens? You release your attachment. And when you release your attachment, the world does not hit you. And then you recognize that how to cleanse the negative patterns in my life, in my thought process. And then you see the defects in the worldly pleasure. You are happy if you get the food you like. If you don't get the food you like, Master, the God or the existence is offering me the food that is more important, more nourishing to me than my liking, so let me take this also. It is not suppression. It is not being indifferent. It is you are expanding your mind. And then what happens? You have a strong desire, which I explained in the very beginning. What is the strong desire? Goal of life. We both should have it. Goal of life, goals in life. There are many goals in life. Many goals. Starting from the journey, growing up and going to the school, getting a certification, getting a job, married, having kids, earning money, building home. Goals in life. It has a starting point, it has a finishing point. Goals of life, no starting point, no finishing point. Why? Peace is my essential nature. Happiness is my essential nature. My mind should move into that mode of thinking. I explained you mode and mood. Yeah, I will cover up briefly that a hit is not about what others say to you or what others do to you externally, including your mom or husband or a wife or son and daughter. Pay attention to it. A hit is not about what others say or what others do to you externally. It is defined internally as anxiety, reaction, conflict, blame that arise within your mind while performing an action outside. While performing an action. Do you see that? Inside, outside. It is, I feel anxious, I feel lazy and crazy because you appeared in a session. So it is internal. But it is not because what you say or your presence. It is the mind that gives the interpretation. That mind is the default mind. That mind must change. And that mind changes only because of the satsang regular. That's why I used to say that I heard my master for 26 years. Constant, consistent learning until the time comes you wake up in the morning and your mind lives in the state of discernment throughout the day. Throughout the day, discernment, it is already 80%. So you already have a discretion. Your internal state of the mind is clear. It will not be hit by the word, and you are open to the 6 treasures. Regular practice, non-negotiable. External conflict is a test, is examination, it is not a tragedy. The true freedom is internal. Embrace, and then what happens? We start embracing the 6 treasures. And you set an example in your life. First, you start with your family. You change your mind internally and you see everything is okay. My honey said me something. In the past, my mind used to react, but now it is calm, it is poised. I have to look to myself. I have to look at myself, not to the maid. Maid will come and go. In your case. So what happens? You will also notice it reduces your anxiety and distress every day. It enhances the mental clarity. Why it enhances the mental clarity? What do you mean by it? Before, with the same person, my mind used to get into anxiety and reaction. But now I have a mental clarity. The same person is with me. I have no problem. Try this, especially with your near and dear ones. Christina is laughing. My mom cannot understand. What should I do? No, you have to make your mind understand. My mom does not understand. Enhancing mental clarity. So when the moment you have a mental clarity, what happens? What happens? There is an emotional intelligence. Now you are not going into anxiety. It is an emotional intelligence, or you can say emotional quotient. Why? Because you live at a higher level of self-awareness. Why? Because you have a discerning mind. Why? You have left the default mind. And that is the point where you recognize that these 6 treasures starts awakening into you. Think. You see the systematic approach. I just, briefed it. So today I'm summarizing that if you follow the previous steps, today of the 6 treasures, we have, which session of the 6 treasure is? Let me tell you, we have 18th session on 6 treasures. So when you recognize, in these 18 sessions, we discussed what are the factors which can help us reveal these 6 treasures. And then we can go directly to each treasure. What exactly is the calmness or sama, or the peace of the mind? What are the 3 levels of the peace? How the 3 levels of the peace can be understood? That is the beauty of our masters. So I said, what is the fundamental? Can you pick out the fundamental difference between the default mind and discern? Default mind, it follows its own satoguna, it follows the rajo and tamoguna. Oh, today is the class. Namaste, sir. It follows its own whims and fancies. It is constantly either lazy or mind is going to someone else. You have a problem of relationship. It is not able to pay attention to it. It is impulsive. It is full of anxiety. It is full of duality. We have to take care of that. That is why we have to practice Mangalacharan. I practice Mangalacharan every day in the morning. You are doing favor to me. No. Do favor to yourself. That throughout the day, because you remember Mangalacharan you have done in the morning, throughout the day, you live into that state. So during the day, you check default mind, discerning mind. Default mind, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. That is the essence of learning the Eastern wisdom. I told you, Eastern wisdom, no starting point, no finish point. Throughout the life. You already know the answer if I ask you a question. How does identifying emotions create suffering? How does simply observing them alleviate it? We have done 18 sessions and now see how simple it is. But that simple thing is very complex in our life. Mind always wants to make it very complex. But why do you say like this? Let me repeat it. You identify emotions that create the suffering. You feel you are hit by the world. And what is simple? How simply does observing them bring an end to the suffering? How you observe? By the discerning mind. How you identify? By the default mind. Can you link it to the something else? Oh, default mind. So I reacted. Oh, you reacted. It means you are not doing karma yoga. Oh, yes, I did the karma. I did not understand my duty. Oh, then I did not have a strong desire for awakening. I have a strong desire. That's why I've been attending your session. With laziness, yes. With sleepiness, yes. Then wait for at least 3 and 4 lives. Then it will happen. Understand? You have to connect all these dots. You pick up the default mind, discerning mind, you put the 4 connections, you put the 4 practices, you put the 8 steps, and connect all the dots. You see that, what is that known as puzzle? You see that you connect, you start thinking in your mind. So how to connect? I am into anxiety. How to connect it? You just play with these principles, and you will see. Oh, you're free. You're free. My mom said that you are crazy identifying with the emotion. I can tell you, you simply think. Should I identify her words with me, or simply I should observe? When you should observe, the words coming from your mom does not affect you. Oh, thank you, mom. You are wonderful. You have a right to say it. What I've been explaining. Relationship between discernment, dispassion, and the 6 treasures. Are you getting it? I'm just playing with it for you so that you can also play in your life. I'm playing with these principles. I'm not playing with you. I'm playing with these principles and helping you to understand that how to play with these words. My honey, you sad me crazy. Honey is a label. Label recognition comes from the default mind. So what is the discerning mind? I have to be an observer. Honey, you are right. You told me you are crazy. I'm crazy. I'm more crazy than you think. When you calm down, we will sit together and find a solution. I'm not saying to run away from the world. And what we do? We say, look at my honey is not learning Eastern wisdom. I'm more wiser. Oh, that is why you react. That is why you fight. That is why you are learning Eastern wisdom to fight, to claim that you have a certification in Eastern wisdom. I'm not giving you any certification. I'm doing meditation. Don't disturb me. So first check that you are disturbed by yourself or by your hand. That's the difference between discerning mind and default mind. Are you getting it? You have to understand it. I have to live into that. When you live into that, you are happy. You are the happiness is inside you. Peace is inside you. Peace is. Uh, Food is on the table, served by your honey. You don't like it, and then your mood is off. Why? Because your default mind is saying that my honey knows what food I like, but still she or he did not serve that food. So instead, the default mind plays with you. I have to play with these principles to live into that state. And then you need not to even worry about where are the six treasures, they will always be there. That is one way. Now, this is another way, one path, that how to awaken those six treasures even without knowing it. And now, from the next session, we will talk about these six treasures. So, yes, let me open to the discussion and reflection, your reflection. Harry, you want to move ahead? You have to unmute.
When I have the most reactive mind is when I cannot communicate. I noticed, but I just had it anyway.
So change to discerning mind. And discerning mind contains the goal of life. Or is my goal of life is to fight with you? No! You think of it. I'm simply saying you bring in the mind. Is the goal of my life is to react to you? No! Don't say that you have the most reactive mind. Everyone says like this. You say you have the most discerning mind.
Well, it's at its worst. If that,
Home to react, only one made.
well, there's more than one.
Oh, more than one. Okay.
There's one that doesn't understand very easily.
But you understand. You understand that mate does not understand.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. So you understand that is your discerning mind.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to communicate.
Yes.
Frustrated. I'm failing to communicate, make myself understand.
You fail, you try again. Tell the man I reacted to you, I am sorry because I was not able to make you understand. So now sit down, now let me make you understand.
Okay.
How are you, Jerry? I'm very happy. Yes.
Thank you, sir. It's interesting, the communication that Carrie brings up, because without communication, it's difficult to find solution.
Yes.
So as long as lines of communication are open, we can always find solution.
Yeah.
Work through the things that present. And I had similar situation where communication just isn't there. And so you just have to keep trying.
Yeah.
And it gets frustrating because without that communication, it's kind of a fundamental piece to relationships or, anything.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you're right. So
it doesn't just destroy the peace that's in, but it is frustrating, and we have to just, for myself, just ask myself, okay, well, I got to try another way.
Yes, you're right. And you know what is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom? Eastern wisdom says we have to keep trying with the discerning mind. We have not to keep trying with the default mind. You look at it. If I keep trying with my default mind, then I identify with the emotions that creates anxiety and suffering. If I keep trying with the discerning mind, I am simply observing them. Okay, I observe. Today I did not succeed. Tomorrow I will try. Day after tomorrow I will. he or she already said that you are the craziest person. Okay, tomorrow again I will try. Let me see what label he or she gives me. Are you, Dennis?
Like you said at the beginning, intellectual understanding is easy, but it is useless when the default mind comes in front and we simply forget what we understood intellectually. So when the default mind is more powerful than the intellect, the intellectual understanding is nothing more but just a wonderful theory. So the default mind has to change to become discerning mind. And teaching the mind is not the same as teaching the intellect. We teach the intellect by listening, by contemplating, by logic and reasoning.
Yeah. Yes.
And these tools don't work as well for the default mind. The default mind must be taught by repetition on case-by-case basis. Whenever the mind reacts, we get a chance to train the mind by the intellect. And this is why the world, with all the challenges it gives us, is useful, because there is a chance to train and change the mind. And if we fail, the world will give us a new challenge to try again.
What a beautiful summary and narration. Carry, maid by maid, case by case. Default to discerning mind. But Dennis is saying case by case. Case by case means discerning mind uses the intellect to see what exactly is the reason here, what exactly is the reason there. You deal with your son differently than to your wife or husband. So it is case by case, but the discernment remains the factor. That is beautiful narration, beautiful understanding. You have to listen to how each one shares their experiences. Jerry had another way of putting it. Jerry has another way. So you have to look. You have to put your mind into it. Put your intellect into. Oh, that is what happens. That is what happens. That is what the Jerry said. That is what the Dennis said. That is what Jerry said. And then it will work. It will open up your mind. Anyhow, Samir.
Sir, as the things are improving, these instant anger, instant reactions, and instant excitements are going, the relation with the society, with the family is improving, and people are listening more to you. They listen to you. They don't avoid you, they listen to you. If you are in anger, then also they listen to you if your anger is thoughtful. Means you are not doing angry things instantly. If you are reacting instantly, then the things become wrong. This is what it is my personal experience. And when I think and I have to talk about something, whether I am talking in anger or I am talking politely, people listen to me. Because I am not talking anything in a rage of anger or anything. So that is the thing is totally changed. Slowly it has changed a lot in my life. Means it is no need to think about how to improve the relation. If my nature is changed, if I am in peace, then it will automatically improve. Relationship keep on improving as my nature starts changing and I live in more peace and happiness. That is there.
Beautifully said. No, everyone is sharing your experiences. It helps each and every one. You see that, anger by the default mind and anger by the discerning mind is an act, like a Hollywood actor. And you identify with the emotion by the default mind. Just see that. You have to get the things done, get it done. So you shout, but internally you are clear. Beautiful. Another way of, another reflection. That is what the contemplation and reflection is. You start Satsang, which contains listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, and practice. You will not leave the practice. Yes, Brandy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I really appreciate Terry's example because it's relatable in the sense that, I think the duty part, right, the discerning part comes when you don't think about the person as being not that great of a receiver, or even you being that poorly as a communicator. It becomes less personal on both sides when you're just like, the duty is the communication. And then it takes the onus off the players, and then all the stuff can kind of the frustrations, right? The emotional reaction can be set aside. And yeah, sometimes a lot of times easier said than done if you're not in the right space.
Yes. My duty is to give the best possible explanation of these principles to you. I should not focus on whether you are lazy or sleeping in a session or not, or I should react to you. No way. That is why you don't put the onus on others. You focus on your duty. You focus on your duty that let me fulfill this. Let me fulfill this, and then see what happens. People will start noticing the change in you, as Samir is saying. People will definitely notice you, that you are changing. Because your expression, your words, your communication, everything changes. And when you start changing, obviously, the world is also going to change for you. Christina, how much your mom has changed?
He doesn't need to change. I need to change.
That's good.
Yeah. I was just with my mom recently and just trying to hold all of our lessons in mind. And, today what stood out, when we're feeling disturbed, it is always back to our own mind. We are the ones causing that disruption and disturbance. And so,
That is, every time you, as if you are returning home, that is the 8th step. You leave the home and you enter the real home. So you remind yourself of these principles and you see the change in your attitude instantly, and then you are ready to respond. Maid by maid basis, Terry. Yes, Stephen.
Good, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the simplicity of the default mind and the discerning mind. And what I'm realizing, what I'm taking away more so every lesson, is that when you start this journey, you're dominated by the default mind. And with all the teachings and principles of the masters and yourself and everyone on this call, we're engaging the discerning mind more and more to eventually get to the point to where the discerning mind will dominate the default mind, with the hope of the discerning mind becoming the default mind. And what I've been able to take from this is the ability to separate different things and different actions, thoughts, from internal as well as external, and be able to measure it against the default or the discerning, and work towards making the discerning mind dominate the default mind.
Beautifully said. This is another way to perceive it. That is why we have more than 3,000 texts. You see that? Everyone reflects differently. There is a saying in Eastern wisdom that if you repeat exactly, you imitate the teacher, you are not a seeker. You express your own way. It is your uniqueness. It is your own individuality. That is why you are separate individual than me. And that is where you see that what Stephen paid attention, he always paid attention, that is wonderful, that you discern every thought, speech, and action in your life. Before you think, before you speak an action, discernment is there. It will change your life. That is the meaning of changing to default to discerning mind. That is the meaning to remember aim in life and goals in life and goal of life. That is the meaning of 8 steps to leave home and move to the real home. It is the same thing. Why I am saying so, when you are absorbed into this teaching by our masters and you perceive in a different way, in varieties of ways, you can deal effectively in your life. That is why I gave these 18 sessions, to make you aware, starting from the beginning to, yes, how are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, I was also thinking on this that there is one effort where we have to understand the principles, and then there is total different efforts to implement those into the day-to-day life. And I'm putting into my example, like my conflict with someone is first happen in my mind because of the impressions I'm carrying for that person, and then it comes outside. So if I like it's difficult to let those impressions go. If I have my daily practice communicating with that person, those impressions which I'm carrying for that person, it's a continuous practice to let those impressions go and build new impressions in the mind. So next time when I meet, there should be no conflict in my mind.
Beautifully said. It is an extension of what Dennis said. So you have to repeat the practice again and again. And why you repeat the practice, you check. There is a little hesitation, little anxiety is still left. Let me do it again. Let me communicate it again. Let me communicate it again. Don't leave the effort. Who cannot leave the effort? Seeker. Who can leave the effort? Non-seeker. Non-seeker says, hell with you. I don't like to talk to you. Enough is enough. No, that is not done. It means I'm building those negative impressions more. So you build brick by brick. Don't think that, I have a discerning mind, honey. How are you? Honey says, you are craziest guy, Keep your discerning mind with yourself. You have to apply in your daily, until, like Samir said, you set an example. He might have felt that, you feel that experience. You feel that people are listening to you. Yes, people will listen to you. That is the beauty of the Eastern. Thank you for learning. Close your eyes. In the stage 1 of the practice is all our passive steps. Place, position, and posture. Why we set the place, position, and posture? To be present. To be present is the goal. The self-awareness is the goal. Did you understand? I believe so. To bring the presence back. I live in the presence. That is the way the higher seekers do their practice. They don't start moving their body and adjusting. Being comfortable, you check, you observe. Mind, did you change the direction? You ask your mind, did you change the direction from the world outside to inside? You intellectually understand, but you experience now. Is the mind looking inside on the blankness or the space, or away from the world? whatever way you do it, that is your take. How it comes? First by self-awareness. First step was self-awareness, can I say. First step is just simply, it is not place, position and posture. Internally it is self-awareness. With that self-awareness, you change the direction of mind by self-awareness. Am I right? Or I am right? Just you have to contemplate and reflect and tell me. And then being carefree. So here I come. What? Carefree. Self-awareness is there. Change of direction is there. And when there is a change of direction, we can find objective and the subjective fields. What does that mean? The world outside is objective, I am subjective. It makes you carefree. That we studied is minutely that it is my duty to give you the best. The rest are the details. So now what happens? The mind goes deeper, it leaves the world, it is self-aware, change the direction, you are returning to the real self. That is another way to put it, being carefree. So returning to real self, then you remind. What do you remind? That who are you? Who are you? Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. So basically what you did, you changed the default mind to discerning mind, is it? You see, you put everything practically, and within no time you are a higher seeker. When it takes time, continue. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Here the intellect constantly pushes the mind. Please, stay here. Here, intellect, when you have done the previous steps correctly, pushes the mind again and again to stay here. To stay where? Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. The honey outside is crazy, reacting, but inside you are Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peaceful. So first peace is with you. Then you look at your honey. Okay, yes, honey. So let us sit, calm down, and then we will communicate. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. A constant, consistent repetition, my friends, will help you to awaken you to the higher consciousness. May there be completeness in all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sometime you will recognize there is an auspiciousness. Even in the event when you are hit by the world, you feel, oh, okay, that's good. I should be hit by the world because of my default mind. Your perception is totally different. We are still moving into the stage one. Another part that is very important, I have taken a couple of times, is the 6 neighbors. So now here you can play with default and discerning mind. What is that? 6 neighbors, the world outside. Discerning mind says what it says. Just check. I'm not saying. Discerning mind says about the world outside, it is not me, not mine. At a distance from me and I consider, I claim it is very near me. I claim very near me. Means what? Default mind. Do you see this simplicity? Survey, the second neighbor is the body, the physical neighbor, physical body with the senses and the motor organs. I'm not the body. Does that thought comes to you? I'm not the body. It is my body. There is no problem saying that. But my body is not me. That is the problem. I am not the body. Default mind says I am the body. Discerning mind says yeah, body is an instrument. Her neighbor is the energy, the life. Same example, same way. So, intellect has understood, as you all shared your experience, but by repeat practice, we reach to a point of awareness where the mind lives in discernment and it says, okay, third neighbor, fourth neighbor is the mind. Mind, you are already suffering from disease which is known as likes and dislikes. You grant a label. Whatever you like and dislike is a matter of disease. Whatever you like doesn't stay forever. Whatever you dislike doesn't stay forever. What is the fun of liking and disliking? So, it is your process of contemplation. And fifth is the intellect and the I-ness and the ego. And the intellect dictated by the previous neighbors, you have a default mind. I'm just giving you the thoughts in your mind so that you can. And sixth is the ignorance. Beyond that, there is a real self. This is the stage one of the practice of meditation. We have been doing it. We'll follow in 3 stages. So in the stage 2 we have 3 and more steps, but we will follow one step today. So you are looking deep inside the forehead in the space and you start breathing long deep in the hissing into your belly. Long deep in the hissing breath into your belly. Your belly expands like a balloon during inhalation and it contracts like a balloon during exhalation. Long deep in the hissing breath. Long deep in the hissing breath. So that you will remember the stage 1, 2, 3. In all the 3 stages, we should practice our meditation in these. Continue breathing long, deep in the hissing, not the jerk. Don't give a jerk to the body. It is long, deep in the hissing breath into your belly. Giving a jerk to the body feels nice, but we are not giving deep. Long deep in the hissing breath. And stop it. Look at the flow of the breath. In the second stage, there are 4 more steps that we will learn completely so that you are very clear. So you just look at the flow of the breath in the stage 3. Stage 3, just the flow of the breath, natural. When it is breath, you check the flow of the breath, it is natural. There is already a self-awareness. When there is already a self-awareness, then you check the flow of the breath, equal or not. Equal is good, not equal is good. Both are good. Because we are not moving into Kundalini meditation. We are moving into higher than Kundalini. Even the Kundalini meditation is considered by our great masters as the extreme purification of the mind. So now you're looking at the just awareness of the breath, awareness of the breath, and you check self-awareness, you check change of direction intact, you check carefree, and everything is intact. In that moment, move the mind inside the heart, visualize the triangle, and move the mind on each side of a triangle, clockwise, dropping Om Shanti, then anti-clockwise, continue clockwise, anti-clockwise, to check it is sinking or not. So when there is a sink, move the mind, push the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing mentally Om. Mind seems to stop and you say Shanti, drop all the effort. It's a kind of self-absorption. So from the stage 3 to stage 4 is very natural. As if your mind drops all the effort. Mind drops all effort means what? Do you remember? You drop the default mind completely. Think of that. If you drop the default mind completely and totally, you are already in a discerning mind. Is that so? Yes. Oh, that is so simple for me. I can do that. Try to do that. It will not happen. And Master used to say, it is easy to do something than to do nothing. So we will follow this process now in our practice of meditation. Stage 1. You can use the word preparation, but I would use the word passive state. Passive state, almost we are pushing the mind to do nothing, to raise its level of self-awareness. In the second, we use all the steps to purify the mind in a different way. Third step, we check the self-awareness again. And self-awareness means where we push the mind. In the fourth step, we drop all the efforts, we check. The default mind is dropped and we are in a discerning mind state. Why discerning mind state? The discerning mind recognizes I am real self, I am of the nature of peace and happiness. And stage 5 while returning. Yes, we will add couple of more steps. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. You can also sing mentally or loudly, whatever the case is. In this I say the stage number 5. You return, but you return, what we say in US, you return with a bang. Yes, you return with a bang means with a higher discerning mind. Why? You are again bringing discerning mind because we have to live in this world all the time. We have to face this world. So now, I cannot be hit by the world. Why? I'm living with the discerning mind. I'm just making it simple, but it includes all the steps. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now, whatever you remember, can you recollect? Can you recollect what you learned today? Just fraction of a second. Why to live into that state and bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand, lift your both your palms, place it in your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences, bring the hands down. How are you, Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Good. Two things. The mind was pretty busy reflecting, and I kind of discerned, I don't know if we'll think this is accurate or not, but it's in line with the maid. If the maid doesn't do her job and doesn't fulfill our needs, then we can get a new maid. Maybe that maid's not the right maid. In line with our kids, our mother, our spouses, we're not getting a new mother or spouse. So we need to allow them to just, not allow, but accept them as a new, like the Bible, can you get rid of all the impressions? And that is the work that I need to do. So
beautifully said. Terry, did you understand? Christina, we don't have a luxury to have a new mother. That is the beauty. So you have to understand. Don't go for the second, change the default mind to the discerning mind. That is the solution. Stephen, what you are thinking?
Thank you again, sir. My meditation was extremely deep, quiet. A couple of moments of thought and reflection around the separation again between the default mind and the discerning mind. And quickly, what I went to was, I don't want to refer to the default mind anymore. That if I'm going to bring the discerning mind to the forefront, then whatever comparisons I make is going to be, is it discerning mind or is it not the discerning mind, and not give any power to the default mind. And then there was something that you did say that triggered the idea, and I know we've gone over this multiple lessons, is that just being able to measure the things that are that have limits is not the discerning mind, and things that are limitless is the discerning mind. And from there, it was just in this absorbed state. So thank you again.
Beautiful, yes. That's another way of reflection in a different plane. Jerry had a reflection in another plane. That is how we learn. The whole session is known as a satsang. It is not that only why I speak, that is satsang. You share your experiences also a part of the satsang. Because mind is limited. How can I reflect each and everything? And that is why we have to study the Eastern wisdom from one principle from 10 different masters. That gives you the deeper insight. And this is another insight, is a beautiful insight. Discerning mind and not discerning mind. Does it click into your, it clicked to me, discerning mind, I'm into insight, this is not discerning mind. Yes, Dennis.
Peaceful meditation, thoughtless and joyful state of the mind, and dark space at the end. Maybe the mind was doing something beyond my awareness, but I did not notice it. I recognized and remember only limitless space. Thank you.
Yes, it will open another area of a deeper meditation. What he said, he made a point that mind may be doing something at say for example at the lower level. Mind is always doing something. It is helping me to breathe and to make my heart beat and all the physiological and other functions. So gradually we will understand, oh, I'm into the discerning state. Let the mind do whatever it does. Another beautiful point. I'm very happy every revelation is coming. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. My meditation was kind of like Dennis's. When you started talking about Om Shanti, I was like, "What is it over? I don't want to come out." I wasn't ready to come out today because I was in such a nice place.
Beautiful. Yes. So explore what is that nice place. Outside you or inside, outside or inside. And it is one place that is same for everyone. That is the conclusion of the discerning mind. Yes, Samir.
Sir, meditation was means I quickly mind went inside and the duration was very short.
Okay. Okay. Yes, it
Means I wanted to be for more time in meditation.
Yeah, sure. We will be doing a longer duration of practice of meditation, but it's good. It's good. Once we touch that point, that in itself is good. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. I'm feeling more of a sense of like more fully integrated with my real self as time goes on, and less split and more, I guess, able to access the discerning mind because of that.
Yeah. Practice, contemplation, reflection, all are required. Beautiful. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mine was calm, and just thinking that how like this discerning mind will become the default mind. There's a journey towards it, and it is taking time. It's giving us challenge, and then also making me understand that where I have to discern and where I have to drop the default mind.
Yes, you rightly said, when the default mind will become the discerning mind. Why it is taking a long time, even if I have understood all the principles, because of my past impressions, because of my ingrained habits, because of my impulsive nature, because of my prarabdha, because of my ignorance, because of my delusion. I have to get rid of all those. That is what we are learning. Yes, that's another point, to be made. Stephen made discerning mind, not discerning mind, but how default mind will become the discerning mind. Another way to put it. So when the default mind becomes the discerning mind, life is beautiful. When? All the time. Where? In all the locations, in all the relations. Do you want to say something, Terry? I don't hear you.
No, I'm just going on a case by case
Yes.
basis and not giving up.
Very good. So what is your today's result, case by case?
Today is all right.
Today is all right.
Today is okay.
Christina, you don't have an option for case by case. Only one mom. You see, the more you understand it, the better it becomes. That is all for today. We will meet again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.